Well, hello! I'm going to be talking about my solo trip to Thailand. Now, those who know me and have followed me on Instagram would probably have recognised that I went on a trip to Thailand for a month, basically because I haven't shut up about it and I haven't stopped posting about it. So I thought I'd spread the Thailand news to my YouTube platform and tell you all about it. Also, I'm going to be drinking out of my adorable new mug. Look at this! I got this for my birthday and I think it's absolutely fantastic. It makes me so happy. If you haven't already seen, I've already uploaded 2 vlogs about my experience, kind of like days in the life, but it was very hard to film. So if you want to check those out after this video, feel free to do that. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea where this video is going to go because I haven't really planned anything about it, but I'm just going to speak about my experience, and I think that's the best way of doing it because then I can tell you more like a genuine reflection of my time there. I'm going to be honest, my decision to go to Thailand was kind of like a procrastination thing from studying for my A-levels last year. It was the sort of thing, a lot of people going on gap years and doing these fun things. I knew that at university you get a very long summer, and I was like, I want to do something really cool with that, because with philosophy you can't really do like internships, that sort of thing. So I was like, why not do some volunteering somewhere? I went on the website for Oyster Gap Years, which is an organisation that helps you plan trips and specifically designed towards solo travellers, because for my first trip I wanted to make sure that everything was like safe and was gonna go right. So one that caught my eye was volunteering with elephants in Thailand, and this is the trip that I went on. It was at WFFT, which stands for Wildlife Friends Foundation Thailand, and honestly could not recommend them enough. The sanctuary opened in 2001, it started as a wildlife sanctuary, and then they got the first elephant in 2003. So the elephant side of that sanctuary has kind of developed as a same but slightly separate thing from the wildlife part. I spent 4 weeks in the elephant sanctuary, and during that time I made loads and loads of new friends and got the once in a lifetime experience of working hands-on with elephants, which is absolutely incredible. They've been my favourite animal for as long as I can remember, and everything I find out about them is honestly fascinating me. I'm like an information sponge. I ask loads and loads of questions and then it's just like stored in my brain, and I don't really know how I have this much capacity to remember so much random facts about elephants, but I love them so much. And so on my first day, when I saw one for the first time, like so close, I honestly got tears in my eyes. I was so emotional. And then working with them every single day for the next 4 weeks was just honestly an indescribable experience. So a bit about like how I planned and prepared for this trip. I booked through the company Oyster, as I said, and they really helped me sort out everything in terms of my flights and my transfer from the airport to the sanctuary, the equipment list of things I needed to do, and they were really helpful. There was a girl called Georgie who was in contact with me frequently. Any questions I have I could just ask her, and I would definitely recommend for maybe your first solo trip going through an organisation, because they'll just help you sort everything out and you don't really have to do that much for yourself. Going through that process definitely set it up well for me, so if I go and do any more trips in the future, I know what sort of things I need to do myself. It is slightly more expensive going with an organisation, but I think you're definitely paying for that security and comfort knowing that everything is going to be okay and everything will work out. As I may have mentioned in my videos before, I used to have quite bad anxiety when it came to travelling by myself, so like in October, November time, I couldn't really get on a train by myself without having a panic attack. So the fact that I flew from England to Thailand by myself was like a massive pat on the back for me and a good step in overcoming like panic disorder and anxiety on my behalf. I know for some people it's an absolute breeze, some people hate flying, like everyone's different with that sort of thing. So personally for me, the flight was the biggest thing that I overcame, and that's what I'm most proud of for the whole trip. So I flew from London Gatwick straight to Dubai, where I had a layover for a couple of hours, and then I flew from Dubai to Thailand. They were both like 7.5 hour flights, obviously not including any delays that happened. And then straight from Bangkok airport I had a 3-hour taxi journey to the sanctuary, which was right on the edge of the jungle, 3 hours south from Bangkok. So essentially it was a lot of travelling and I was absolutely shattered. On the first day I honestly was walking around a bit like and felt like I was gonna pass out from tiredness pretty much the whole day, and I got to the sanctuary at 12 noon, so I had to go like another 8 hours before it was acceptable to go to bed. Honestly, it was tiring. I didn't actually get any jet lag just because I was so tired, so I fell asleep straight away that night. The work itself was quite hard, it was manual labour, but there's not really anything to complain about when you're doing such incredible work for such an incredible cause, for such incredible animals. And I'm aware that I said incredible many times because that is the only way to describe it. A typical day, I was getting to the volunteer house where we met to start work at about 6:15, to start work at 6:30. Then you'd work through till breakfast. Breakfast was 8 till 9, and then you'd work through till lunch. Lunch was 12 till 1, and then you'd work through until you finish all your tasks at the end of the day, which is about 5:45, 5 o'clock, depending on like how fast or slow your team was going that day. And then everyone would run to the showers, and where I was staying there was 5 showers between about, I think it was about 24 of us. So yeah, it was a bit of a rush considering everyone finished work around about the same time. We all like were desperate to get out of our sweaty, muddy clothes. And then we'd all go to the Elephant Kitchen when we had dinner at 6 o'clock and probably stay there and pretty much until you're ready to go, because at the end of the day that's when the most socialising happens. Everyone plays cards, have like good chats, and there were also trips that you could do in the evenings, things like go to the spa, which was like half an hour away. It was basically just a pool outside that you could order french fries from, but it was really nice anyway. You could go to the bat caves, which I did twice, which is going to see like millions of bats flying from a cave at sunset, and then going to a night market afterwards. And also bar night was a thing that happened once a week. Every Thursday you go out to the city of Hua Hin and basically do a bar crawl, which is always really fun. A bit of normality when it comes to everything else that you're filling your time with. We also got 1 day off a week, and luckily enough I always managed to get Friday off, which was the day after bar night. So 3 times out of the 4 weeks we stayed in a hotel in Hua Hin and then managed to chill around the city the next day, which was really fun. I had my birthday out there, which was really cool. We went to a national park and saw wild elephants, which was a surreal experience. And also, as I said at the start, we made some unforgettable friends from all over the world, which was honestly probably the best bit. So in terms of like general tips that I kind of learned throughout my journey of finding myself, no, I'm not going to be that person, was that I was so unbelievably nervous before I went, but I think that's just the fact that I couldn't possibly imagine what I was going to be doing. Like, I knew I was going to an elephant sanctuary in Thailand, that's pretty much it. I had absolutely no idea what to expect, and that for me filled me with so many nerves, but they were definitely all nerves that were worth it, obviously, because you can't predict something like that. The only thing you kind of really know is that you're getting on a plane. You can't even really predict how that's going to go sometimes. Also, the going by yourself is a big thing because you have to socialise with people if you're gonna obviously have fun. It was really good because we were in teams of like 2 to 3 every single day, and the teams rotated, so you're forced to talk to people throughout your working day, and then that makes socialising at mealtimes a whole lot easier. But personally, I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I find that a bit easier. Obviously, if you're more on the introverted side, a bit more shy, then it's going to be a challenge, but definitely worth one overcoming. So I intended for this to be a short video, so that's basically all I'm going to say. I might do a Q&A a bit later on if that's something people are interested in, but there are so many stories to tell that I honestly don't even know where to start. So I thought I'd just do this brief video to tell you basically what I've been up to. But essentially the main point I had to make is the fact that I cannot recommend an experience like this enough. It's not the cheapest thing, and I know that and I admit that, but even if it's just for a week or 2 weeks, I definitely recommend doing something like this. The pros massively outweigh the cons, and it's honestly an indescribable and unforgettable experience to have essentially just for you, because no one else you see in your everyday life experienced it with you. So yeah, I've rambled on enough about that without really having a purpose, so I hope that this is kind of like a little bit informative and enjoyable to watch, but if not, soz. Check out my vlogs that I did while I was out there. I mean, obviously it was really difficult to film when you're trying to work like all day and actually get the job done, so you don't have to keep your team waiting, but they were a lot of fun to make and they're so much fun to watch back for me personally, so I hope that you enjoy them as well. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!